I for only to dip myself loves and cares about Mr. Amazing Jet Robertson, my for amazing brother Jesus Christ, in the kind of way to where I would never care what anybody would think about him. That'd be like me saying, telling a crazy headed person saying, no matter what you think about my amazing brother Jip, you ain't gonna change my brother anyhow. I say, either you like it or you don't. I say, you ain't changing my brother, who I say is forever perfect for who he is. Even though I say Jip is exactly perfect for who he is, even though it says in the Holy Bible only God and Jesus Christ are perfect, while they can do stuff slash things that nobody else couldn't do. And I even love and care about Mr. John David Owen, funny man by heart, also in a way to where I wouldn't care what anyone's opinion would be about him, while me finding him both cool and funny. Though I could be like me saying I find the John David Owen man cool and funny, therefore I don't care what your opinion is about him. But like me say, your opinion don't matter nor count. That's like me saying your opinion about my amazing brother Jip don't matter nor count whatsoever. No. I'm thankful, thank God, that God forever and thankful and that created me to be one of His people who would support people through thick and thin that I love and care about, that I find cool and funny, that I would forgive mainly any time, especially to Jip Robertson for one with his amazing self, and of course the John David Owen funny head, and maybe the Jace goofball silly head, besides the silly old son Willie silly head. I say I forever love to Mrs. K like my own sister of Jesus Christ with her amazing self, and of course me and love to Miss Corey girl like my own sister of Jesus Christ as well, and of course the Missy with her nice and maybe funny self, who probably end up tell the Jace that he's too much of a goofball head. I know that for one she'll tell her, say, Jace, don't listen. I would always say or do something in a funny way whenever I'm around silly people like Jace, for one with his goofy headed self, who's one of the goofy, most craziest people I know of, who's too goofy, period, along with his Uncle Si, who's something else that's also a nice Christian man with his nice and funny self, besides his own nephew, Mr. Jetman, Jace, goofball head, and Mr. Willie, nice and funny head, who I love it for the fact that always speaks from his heart about the Word of God to a lot of people, whether at a church inside a church building or wherever. By the way, I say that anyone like Jip and John David Owen, for one, anyone like that, I would do paintings, cute paintings for. I be lucky and say I wouldn't care what anybody other people's opinion would be about paintings. Me doing, as long as a person me doing a painting for lots or loads of paintings, that's all that would matter to me. Be like me saying only Jip's opinion would matter to me about what he would think about all the paintings that I decided to do for his amazing self, who's forever worth every bit of my time and energy, period, along with John David Owen with his nice and funny self, who I'm going to see about making some nice movies for, like that movie Woody Woodpecker, that's a nice and funny movie to watch, like for you and a family to watch with one another. I definitely for sure won't forget about how much of an amazing person Missy is, that's Jace's own and wife, who tell you he don't listen, like for one to listen whenever talking about the Word of God or whatever. Once again, the reason why I would do stuff or things for the amazing Jet Robertson, my number one all-time most favorite person of all. I say about being my most favorite one before any other people who would be more my favorite people to be around, and who can't help but make me laugh for one, or tell me about them being too much of a goofball off and on. Well, anyways, I'll end up be lucky, but end up say the reason why it is I would do something swear God for the Jip and John David Owen and that silly old Jace head, Jace Robertson goofball head, Mr. Joker man, is cracking up jokes all the time like crazy, like it ain't nothing. Just like Willie B, like talk your ears off like it ain't nothing with his funny self. Anyways, the reason why I say that I would do stuff with these for him is all because of me loving them by heart like my own nice and hilarious brothers of Jesus Christ. I do stuff for other people all 'cause I love giving from the heart to people who I love and care about, and all 'cause of me and being looked at by loving to once again thank the world of other people that some people may not find in me about me having a giving heart that I do more than end up be looked at by taking always give more than I take knowing me. I'm glad I'm forever the kind of person who loves giving without expecting anything in return, period. Just like I said, I'm forever thankful that I would never have and never will allow myself to use nobody or take advantage of nothing or no one. Just like I care enough about my own health to where I don't eat or drink too much. So therefore I've been into only eating a small portion of food at a day, enough to where you don't end up put on no most of the time would put on no extra weight anyhow. I'm just eating enough to keep me satisfied, if anything. While me end up wanting to lose weight like I need to be doing, LOL. Therefore, sure enough, I won't never drink nothing that got alcohol, like I said before. Like saying in them videos on my Instagram of while into showing off of me watching my Duck Dynasty series where Jason talking about wine and saying it wouldn't be wine, it would have to be moonshine. It will talking about like saying that after Willie himself talking in the one episode talking about wine of him buying or already bought and talking about drinking or whatever. LOL. And tomorrow, that includes for Saturday, my day off of work, I'm going to be planning on taking time out of my way of probably end up getting some CDs done for the Mr. Jace Goofy Head and Willie Head, who I believe both love some country music that I love most out of country and rock music. I would even make them both a Christian CD with mostly songs on it by Chris Tomlin, that I'll say is the #1 Christian singer who's worth listening to Christian songs by. That mostly from the Chris Tomlin's album called Never Lose Sight. The amazing two songs are on called Come Thou Found I Will Sing and Good Father that I sung up on stage at the Cool Springs Community Church back in 2018. Once again here in Jacksonville, Texas. That ain't no more than a little bit over 3 hours or probably three and no more longer than up to like 3.5 hours away from the Austin, Texas area. I'd be glad that sooner or later if I would end up get to supposedly see the Mr. Jip, my most favorite in person, get to give him all his own stuff that I got in a separate box with all his stuff all together, including the movies me having for him, plus all his paintings in a gift bag together that I got for him. I even got a painting of a sea turtle that maybe him give to someone like his daughter Lily or whoever that he may think would like or love a sea turtle painting of him, not exactly knowing of which one of the girls that may love sea turtles and that may would love the sea turtle painting that I did was my first painting of a sea turtle created on a 9x12 size canvas. Oh, just like I said, I always like making noise being silly, besides making silly faces. I'm that kind of way to where I always care about I'm a real caring I'm a care enough person who cares enough to where I would always end up like to end up be like it by leaving a nice if not hilarious news to somebody of leaving somebody a sweet and kind news of like for one be like if someone would end up be like it by saying sorry about something, I would like for one to be like be like me saying to be like and tell my favorite Mr. Jip, I say you're fine, no need to worry, brother, or whichever way me saying it, telling that he's fine, no words as if saying that he ain't gotta worry about whatever thing like he maybe was to say sorry about, like as in saying you're fine, brother, and me even telling say you welcome me anytime, brother. Just like I said, I always love to make other people feel welcome, who I would always love to enjoy my time around. I bet I couldn't I would never get tired or bored at no time. I may would get to spend time with Jip and his amazing self. Period. I bet that I would couldn't help but be my funny, goofy self around Jessica. She'd be in her crazy mood of making me make a funny face. I'd be like, "What's up with you, Miss Silly Girl?" Sure enough, the goofy old Justin Martin silly dude here from the who's in the duck call room most of the time with Cy Robertson goofball head and Mr. John David Owen, who's my favorite one out of all three of them. Even though Justin Martin's cool and funny in his own way, but anyways, Justin Martin's one of them I believe who I wouldn't be afraid of giving a sweet and kind hug to, all because of me loving his silly self like my brother Jesus Christ. Just like I wouldn't be afraid of giving a sweet and kind hug to Mr. Silly Head. All because of me also loving him like my brother Jesus Christ as well, and of course John David Owen, man, I would never be afraid of giving him a hug either, long as he would happen to like a love hug or maybe a hug make him put him in a better mood. I always love to make other people feel important by giving them a sweet and kind hug, as well as in it make them feel like and give them a hug and make them feel like they exactly matter. Like I say that Jip himself forever exactly does. He forever matters, forever one person who's one of the most important people with his amazing self, just like the silly Jason Goofball Head and Mr. Willie Nice and hilarious Goofy Head, who I won't quit thinking about the silly side of, as well as Jason think about the funny side of Jip also, talk about say or do something, talks about something funny to do with his nice and funny self, who I can't quit thinking about having have fun with have fun with having a laugh right along with from us both having once again both having a sense of humor like each other. I don't know if it, by the way, this to be telling the honest truth right from my heart, Jip, amazing man, by far the only amazing man who I have ever felt that real super strong chemistry with, that no other zodiac sign ain't never may have a way of making me feel with them. I may have feel a connection with other men, like the Tucker Whitmore country singer, for one, who sings that song called When I Ain't Looking. It's an amazing country song that I made have a CD album for, by for the Mr. Jip and John David Owen already, anyways, as well as Luke Bryan that sings that song Hunting, Fishing, and Loving Every Day, that I bet that John David Owen and Jason Jip and all of them can't get over. Anyways, I won't forget in that actual video on YouTube that the John David Mr. Jason Willie and maybe Dad Phil is right there in the that video at some point, while they're being shown off in the video while the Luke Bryan singing his song Hunting, Fishing, and Loving Every Day. Well, anyways, I bet that no, they can't never get over that amazing song. That's the first track they'll hear on the Luke Bryan out of CD that I made for them, including already for John David Owen and Mr. Jip, amazing man. I say that there won't never be no one near as amazing as Jip, even though there's other people who are amazing in their own way, from being both nice and maybe funny, if not just all plain and whoa, cool. And whenever I would tell some other woman, some other girl who's being a goofball, I'd be like, "What you loco, Mrs. Loco?" And me and telling a silly dude, I'd be like, "You, Mr. Loco." If me not calling her Dingleberry, if me not saying a goofball. By the way, the song by the Weird Fleet from a Stack of Records album, that song Where I Find God is on. Well, anyways, the track is the song that's called Quitting Ain't Working. Well, anyways, I say that I love that song a lot, as well as I do that song called Where I Find God. I won't forget me and my most favorite Mr. Jip, both I say both love. I know I love that song a lot, period. I can't help but laugh a lot crazy, like laugh about as hard as a rock whenever there being too much of funny people around me, like my friend Michael, who make me laugh off and on like crazy at work, or like for one him being funny enough to say, I'm not finna play with you. If him not saying that to my friend LT and Marcus Silly Head saying, I'm not finna play with y'all. Then whenever one time or another when I be free enough to go on and talk about bring up about saying how goofy and cuckoo to Mr. JC is, say that to my friend Michael anyway. Michael would be like, say, Lord have mercy. I love it when I can't help but laugh like crazy once again whenever somebody goes crazy, start to go all crazy and saying or doing something, acting out funny from me, bringing up about something or someone who's goofy upside the head once more. By the way, I'm going to make sure I make a copy of my movie for Jip that's called 8 Seconds with Luke Perry, that was based on a true story. That's a sad story of him really dying from riding on a dang bull. I think that's a kind of a sad story, but yet it's a heck of a good old movie to watch, well worth entertaining, as well as silly old movies that Eddie Murphy plays in, including like the movies called Golden Child, and the other movie called Coming to America. And of course, all three of the other movies called Beverly Hills Cops, Beverly Hills Cops 2, and Beverly Hills Cops 3. I even have once again, even have them movies with Martin Lawrence that's called Bad Boys 2 and Bad Boys for Life. I even have the amazing movie by Will Smith called I Am Legend, and the other amazing movie that's called anyways, that's called Hancock. That's a heck of an amazing story, as well as the other amazing movie that Woody Harrelson plays in along with Will Smith, I believe, called 7 Pounds. By the way, the Nicolas Cage is another actor who entertains me quite a bit. That's why I got up to like at least 20 to 25 movies by him. LOL. I know it's hard to believe how many nice movies I got by actors that entertain me a lot, including Adam Sandler, that I got a good amount of movies by also, besides the Mr. Nicolas Cage and Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington. I got most of the Mark Wahlberg movies he plays in, as well as most of the movies by Owen Wilson as well, who plays in the Big Year movie that Jack Black once again also plays in. And also the Owen Wilson is a one who also plays in another movie called Wonder, that ain't nowhere near as entertaining to me as the movie The Big Year is. I even got some good movies by Tom Hanks, who plays in the Sully movie. That's a heck of a good old movie that I say you won't never get old of watching. I even got that amazing story by Ben Stiller called The Secret Life of Walter, that I say is another amazing movie that won't never get old to me of watching. The Ben Stiller's movie called The Secret Life of Walter is the only kind of movie I know I'm big on by Ben Stiller. With me saying that, I'm not into many movies by Ben Stiller, so therefore I'm not crazy about that many movies that he plays in, to be telling the honest truth. By the way, I even have the 2 movies of Hellboy that David Harper plays in, I believe, or whatever the actor that David's last name is. I believe it's David Harper, or last name starts with a letter H anyway. If you like love Hellboy, then I bet be lucky to say that you ought to end up love a good amount of action, must love action movies a lot. By the way, I even got most of the Avenger movies, and that are Marvel films. I even got all the mainly all the stories of Spider-Man. Also, that's another amazing Marvel films that I love to watch, that I'm going to end up see about making a copy of for my favorite Mr. Jip. Make sure I make him a copy of my Spider-Man movies. I bet he would love, as long as he loves him some Marvel films like I do, Marvel stories that are Marvel films. That includes Batman also, and a Superman, of course, and of course the Aquaman. Already got the 2 movies of me for Jip, amazing man, who's forever amazing beyond words. Just like from my honest opinion, Jip's more handsome, more than handsome is a beyond handsome. He's handsome beyond words. One other thing, I bet that Jip Amazing Man would be like me on loving the good old Disney movies that are called Finding Nemo, plus the other one called Finding Dory. I think those are both well worth entertaining, as well as the movie Clifford the Big Red Dog live version movie. I'll say what is another good family film that won't never get old of watching, period. By the way, I'm also going to stay making sure I make a copy of both of my Ted movies of Ted the Bear that Mark Wahlberg plays in with Ted the Crazy Bear. That's a crazy character that is acting crazy in both of them movies of Ted that are too crazy to not want to watch when you like watching crazy movies that'll make you laugh in no time, LOL. By the way, I bet Jipper even loved that movie Ella Enchanted that Anne Hathaway plays in. That she ended up singing the two songs in called Somebody to Love and the other amazing cool song called Don't Go Breaking My Heart. LOL. I love that story that won't never get old to me, as well as Clifford the Big Red Dog live version movie, and of course the amazing movie by Ryan Reynolds called Free Guy that's about some kind of gang, a story of some gang going on that looks like you in the see a red block of a game inside the movie of the Free Guy. Even The School of Life is another good movie by Ryan Reynolds, even though I say that Free Guy's even way more entertaining from my honest opinion. Sure enough, while I'm thinking about that in my own head, like I ended up said about not long ago, I'll say that that another thing I would say about my amazing most favorite brother of Jesus Christ, Mr. Jip Robertson, Mantel, brag about him saying my brother better than yours. Well, I could then say that at last on would that be the last thing me saying before being done of bragging about him sooner or later, whenever, if I ever get to somehow hopefully get to see him somehow, and get to give him all the stuff of me having for him once more, including his painted cities and movies, and even a card that I would give to him that he ended up open up and read what's saying inside of there, and me even write something sweet and kind to him that I bet nobody else would take take time to write to him, saying that would be something sweet and kind to him reading. That'd be like someone being sweet and saying the world needs more of you, for one. And me end up be lucky, but even end up be nice enough to say how it is he couldn't ever be replaced anyhow. Like I ended up saying on the on my canvas that I bragged about him on, and saying my brother Jupiter forever perfect for who he is. And me even writing on there saying my brother Jupiter been looking to be on handsome all his life. One other thing, why I ended like I said before, I would never will or never would end up stand or sit around watch somebody be rude to my most favorite brother of Jesus Christ, Mr. Jet Man. I also wouldn't be okay about anyone being rude to Mr. John David Owen with his amazing and hilarious self. Just like to be even telling the honest truth right from my heart, I can't stand nobody who talks or acts like a fool being weird and end up think that they running something or whatever. And also I ain't got time for weird-headed people who think that they got the right to take something that ain't theirs. I ain't got time for no thieves whatsoever. That I believe that my amazing brother, Mr. John David Owen, also ain't got time for with his amazing self, who end up talking about loving others by heart with his amazing self. I would even be lucky by even end up once again give John David Owen a sweet and kind hug right from the side, and tell him be like say, love you, brother. That's exactly what it is. I told him about me loving him, and tell him say, I'll forever love you like my brother, nice and hilarious brother of Jesus Christ. And me end up saying, no matter what would or wouldn't be going on in life, I'll forever love you like my brother of Jesus Christ anyhow whatsoever. I would even say that to my favorite Mr. Jetman, who's my most favorite, John David Owen, once again my second most favorite one out of everyone from Duck Dynasty. I wouldn't even be afraid to even speak it from my heart and telling Justin Martin silly head that I even love his silly self like my brother of Jesus Christ with his hilarious self, Mr. Silly Man, who I believe probably don't like to open up and be socialize with people the way me and Jip and John David Owen do, I believe.